Here we are, the first episode of Season 9 of Welcome to the Basement. Welcome back, Craig.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we get to the movie, of course, I want to talk about the Oscars, which are happening crazy early this year. They're coming out just 2 days after the release of this episode. I had it all figured out. I knew exactly what I was going to say about all 9 of the Best Picture nominees, even the ones I hadn't seen.
Yeah?
And then I went and saw 1917 and had to throw it all out the window.
Really? Why?
I think 1917 is the best film of 2019. But I still have a nagging feeling that Joker is going to win.
Oh, God.
I think it's one of those zeitgeist movies, like this is where we are.
It's hated by so many people. What topic does the Academy love the most? Movies.
Okay.
And Los Angeles. They love The Artist. They loved Crash because it's about Los Angeles. Any movie that deals with movies is going to win Best Picture. Okay. And that's why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to win. Add to that the fact that it is kind of a career-capping achievement. It's a feel-good Tarantino movie. I would love it for Tarantino to have a sweep. Screenplay, director, picture.
Well, Once Upon a Time and 1917 both won the Golden Globe, so I think it's kind of a toss-up between them. Joker's lurking around in the background, though, like the agent
Joker.
Of chaos that he is. I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement.
There's always been this string hanging here just to my right. It is for the cats to play with.
And I can't find my other glasses. In 1972, Marlon Brando starred as the title character in Francis Ford Coppola's gangster epic, The Godfather, based on the best-selling novel by Mario Puzo. The Godfather was an international hit. It broke all kinds of box office records, which would all be broken again 3 years later by Jaws. And it earned 8 Oscar nominations, winning 3, including Best Actor for Marlon Brando, who caused controversy by boycotting the ceremony and sending Apache actress and activist Sachin Littlefeather to accept the award on his behalf and to deliver a statement condemning Hollywood's depiction of American Indians. The Godfather is currently number 2 on the American Film Institute's list of the 100 greatest films of all time. Don Vito Corleone may be the Godfather, but I'm here to tell you that he's got nothing on the smooth moves of the Disco Godfather.
You throw up a lot of red herrings in your introduction. This is not a Marlon Brando movie. This is not the #1 movie of all time. This is not a movie that shows Hollywood's depiction of American Indians.
And it's a movie that has nothing to do with James Brown, the Godfather of Soul.
Oh, there we go.
Released in 1979, Disco Godfather, also known as Avenging Disco Godfather, stars Rudy Ray Moore and Carol Speed. It was written and directed by J. Robert Wagner. This DVD was sent to us by one of our generous viewers, and now we're watching it. Simple as that. Disco Godfather star Rudy Ray Moore initially rose to fame due to his stage performances and best-selling comedy records, with titles such as Sensuous Black Man, Close Encounters of the Sex Kind, and Sweet Peter Jeter. His bawdy rhymes were often based on stories derived from African folklore. Some of his most popular of these were the tales of the signifying monkey. And so, your gift.
Oh, this is perfect. Not for me, but for someone I know. It's nesting monkeys. Sock monkeys at that.
Who knows which of them are signifying?
Being that I've never seen a Rudy Ray Moore movie, I have not seen Dolomite Is My Name. I really don't know what to expect, but I don't think I'm going to be expecting The Godfather.
Well, you should shimmy, cha-cha, or shing-a-ling over to the old leather couch with us as we enjoy The Disco Godfather.
Hwah! Hwah! Oh, this is PG.
PG? Man, this makes me want to get my ass on the dance floor.
There were a lot of violinists in the late 70s whose job it was to go diddly diddly diddly.
It was a good time for violinists.
It was a great time for violinists. Oh, 80s, watch out, here I come. It was Come On Eileen and nothing.
I feel like it's Saturday night and I have some sort of ailment.
Ague?
Saturday night ague. At the Blueberry Hill Discotheque, the disco dancers are disco dancing. And the man who rules over it all is Tucker Williams.
A.K.A. Disco Godfather.
He's got the ague. Right there. He gets his rudimentary groove on.
Ow, 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 ow.
and then heads straight up to the DJ booth where he plays royalty-free disco music.
Put your weight on it! Put your weight on it! Put your weight on it!
And put their weight on it, they do. Everyone's having a great time.
Yes, that's the adjustment that it needed.
Bucky is there. He's an up-and-coming basketball player. He doesn't want to dance, but then he dances.
Put your weight on it, son! Put your weight on it!
Stop putting your weight on me. I'm not it, man. He's also doing the minimalist disco. Minimalisco.
Bucky goes off with some shady-looking characters.
Hey, do you want to smoke?
And later on, his girlfriend comes running back in. She's worried about Bucky. He's been smoking too much of it.
Where is Bucky? And what has he had?
Angel dust. Bucky smoked. And now he's ready to go. Bucky's gone nucky.
Fuck y'all, look at that.
They get a fuck in a PG movie?
I guess so. Maybe they didn't know what the word meant back then.
He runs around. And the resident doctor and expert on the PCP epidemic takes him to the PCP ward. The next day, Tucker sees the casualties of this horrible drug. She's just having fun. Wee, 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 wee.
This guy wants to be a caterpillar.
Well, as to Meeker, I'm sure you read about her. She invited a family over for dinner one day and served a 4-month-old baby on a silver platter with all the stuff. She had roasted the child in an oven.
How? And why?
And where can I get the recipe? Bucky is strapped into his bed because he has gone nuts off of the angel dust. You can find out all about angel dust in the HBO original series, His Dark Materials. Don't be afraid of her, that's just Susan.
Bucky, hold on to yourself.
Put your weight on sanity.
She don't even move. She's just 15 years old.
Are we being followed? Or are all these people going to the same place as we are?
Electric shock treatment, Miss Edwards.
Oh, no.
We need to give her shock treatment. We need to give her shock treatment.
Ain't nobody shocking my baby.
She want a shock treatment.
There's only one way to stop the demons of PCP. With the opposite, CPC.
We're dealing with a drug that's beyond modern medicine.
Drog?
Beyond all of us.
We're dealing with a drog? Could you make it a big shamble going down the stairs? Tucker is very upset about all this.
I'm going to go down to the police station where I used to work as a cop.
Glad to see you again.
Greetings, honky. I'm going to hit the streets and take care of this myself.
Just stick to the rules, Tucker, huh?
I'll bet this scene will last a good 7 minutes.
To be a member of the disco squad at the Godfathers, you have to get funky and get down.
It's a requirement. You have to have had at least 2 years of training of funky and getting down at the Martha Graham Institute.
Tucker, someone's in your office. They claim they're fixing the phone. Those aren't phone men. Those are PCP dealers.
They must be bugging the phones.
Let me check the line.
Fight! Whoa, jeez.
So right now, is he the Kung Fu Godfather or the Disco Sensei?
Oh my God, Tuck!
Someone put their weight on me.
Somebody knows I'm out to get him. But the question is who?
There's a man named Stinger Ray, and he's just bought a new basketball team, the Stingrays.
So he's an upstanding member of the community, but he's not. He's the one who's trying to tap the phone line. He's the guy behind all the PCP. Shocking. Also, disco skaters.
Nighttime at the disco, and once again they're putting on a heck of a show. Sir, those shorts are not appropriate for wearing in public.
Yes.
Not even the gym.
Those shorts aren't inappropriate for underwear.
Meanwhile, a young lady who took some PCP and it went straight to her head, her religious family think that she's possessed by a demon. They're performing an exorcism. Tucker has teamed up with an anti-angel dust organization. They are going to attack the wack.
Got it, Jack? We're gonna attack the whack.
What can be done for cases of whack attack?
I kind of messed up that last line.
Are all of you aware of the location of your weight vis-a-vis it? That night there's a shootout at the club.
Who? What?
I think the movie's having a seizure. In the hospital, the doc talks to Bucky, who's still there.
How could I do this to myself?
How could I do it again?
Fucking Richard.
There is so much profanity in this movie, and it's PG rated.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc.
You got any PCP?
It doesn't have to be strong PCP, just enough to get me through the night.
PCP light.
Where are you, mister? Are you with us or just in our mind?
Hold it together, Doctor.
Tucker goes and talks to his friend Bob. Bob is somebody. Bob used to have a dog, but the dog left him.
She left me a few months back.
If your dog runs away, you don't typically say, "She left me."
Yes.
You know,
What do we know? What?
Do we really know anything, man? We're going to cut back to them, and he's going to say, in conclusion... Tucker goes to see Sweetmeat, and there's a woman with a very dubious distinction.
And Betty, one of the nation's most notorious shoplifters.
How notorious is she? If she's notorious, everyone knows who she is, making her a pretty bad shoplifter. What about this cocaine? Aw, Tucker. 5-second rule.
Tucker and his gang go... Well, they're not a gang.
Tucker and his buddies hit the street.
They beat up every drug dealer they can see, and they confiscate their drugs. I would much rather see a montage of America's shopliftingest woman.
It would be nice if she came back later. We need to get something off a shelf. Who can we talk to? Candy ass raid. Card game raid. Him and some cops perform a raid on this card game. This is from that late 70s lull in the need for a search warrant.
But when they go there, they can't find anything. I don't understand it. We had probable cause for whack. Hey, Packer fan. Nice.
Yeah. Tucker can't sleep. Just all of this drug thing is just can't get him to sleep. He opens the door. Something.
Bob is killed.
I'm going to personally see that you are locked up and the key is thrown away forever.
With all of my authority.
I did it for the money. Richard, you're not making sense.
That makes sense.
It makes
you
perfect
sell
sense.
drugs for money. You don't do it for glory. Is there someone in the police department working against Tucker?
It's Kilroy. He's the rat. Whack-a-tacka, 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 whack-a-tacka.
Kilroy kills Kilroy.
Stinger knows that the jig is up.
well, you better find out fast. Call me back.
Bye, Grandma. He's busy trying to dismantle his PCP lab and burn all the evidence.
Lieutenant, I say we go now.
I also say go, Pack, go. Tucker is captured by a cowboy.
A cowboy?
He's being kidnapped by the village people. You know why this guy's so mad? Vikings fan. Oh, he's a whipster. Tucker messes him up in a bloody way and escapes. Bucky is back on the streets. He says, "Where's my uncle?" Tucker. Tucker is his uncle. I just found this out. Did we know that already?
I did.
Tucker attacks the PCP factory, and he gets to use his kung fu moves to beat up everyone he sees.
Angel Dust, why?
I don't have time for this shit yet.
I haven't got time for this shit. Carly Simon's best song. Tucker has to face off against the guy who can't be stopped.
Damn!
He can't be stopped.
Take your weight off it!
Tucker wakes up and he's got this.
Angel dust machine.
Oh.
It forces you to smoke angel dust. Tucker manages to get the mask off, but he's already inhaled some of the dangerous drug.
And he starts freaking out.
Got to be in my mind. Mama?
Medea?
Hallelujah!
Mama, I'm so sorry, Mama, I'm sorry.
This PCP is allowing him to access some really deep stuff that he's
Yeah.
got to work out.
I'm on PCP!
I hate you! I hate you!
No, it's Bucky, Uncle Tucker! Bucky, when did you get out of the hospital?
When can I get in?
Take your hands off of me!
That's it! That's the end of the movie! I'm really amazed.
You can fill in the rest of these blanks for yourself. Disco Godfather.
That's the movie we just watched.
It's an interesting ending.
It is an interesting ending. Talk about a movie that I did not care about at all for the first everything of it, and then in the last 4 seconds, it just pulls me in. Not that great of a movie.
Certainly not, no. And there was quite a lot of profanity in this PG-rated movie.
Yeah.
And why does this need to be PG anyway?
Yeah. It would probably be better if they put a little bit more R into this movie.
Is it because it had an anti-drug message? They wanted that to connect with kids?
PG was more open-minded back then. It was the 70s.
I guess.
There was a national malaise going on.
Now, I have seen Dolomite. Dolomite came out about 4 years before this one, maybe 5. And so I've gotten to see the progression of Mr. Moore's acting skills.
This progression?
He's slightly better than he was in Dolomite. And his kung fu, or the appearance of his kung fu, is much better. Aside from the bad production values and the bad acting and the story that's really not much there, there's just so much filler. Boring dance scenes. This isn't Saturday Night Fever where the dance scenes are great.
The very first disco dancers we see, oh, alright, we're gonna see some real dancing. And then the very second disco dancers we see, no, this isn't good. And then it just continued not being good. They even had roller skate dancers, and that didn't work for me. When Tucker is on PCP and he's having all those hallucinations which are so stupid and meaningless earlier in the movie, suddenly is giving a lot of backstory to this person who has no actual backstory. Used to be a cop, knows this guy named Bob. Suddenly it's like, oh, Mom, I'm sorry for what I did, and why am I apologizing to you? Because you're the drunk. This is a huge, very real moment that's coming in a very not real movie.
Sure. I would love to see a remake of this movie. Jordan Peele as the Disco Godfather, and Keegan-Michael Key as Stinger Ray.
Yeah.
Stinger looks like a Keegan character come to life.
Dancing, karate fighting, chase scenes, people having drug freakouts. I was so bored.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire thing.
This movie should have been 80 minutes long, not 97 minutes long.
But they had to live up to the disco part of their name. What I always found amazing about PCP, the newscasters always say, PCP, or angel dust. Why do they do that? They don't say, it was found with 3 kilos of marijuana, or reefer. You know, they don't do that.
People might not know that PCP is angel dust.
Yeah, I always thought it was what they made those pipes out of, plastic pipes.
PVC.
PVC, all right.
You shouldn't smoke that either.
No, you shouldn't.
I guess the best thing about the movie is that parts of it are so ineptly handled that they become weirdly sublime in a way.
Mm-hmm. Bucky smoked. Bucky smoked!
Well, we've watched Disco Godfather, for better or for worse, and now it's time for us to put our weight on it for Seen It.
Seen It.
Portia McCourtface writes, Joker. Felt like they stretched the tension as tight as it could go in the first 10 minutes and kept it there for 2 hours. Easily the most unsettling film I have ever seen. Seen It.
Seen It.
A lot of people seem to really hate it. I thought it was okay. I didn't like the fact that it borrowed so much from Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. It was almost like a Scorsese pastiche.
They borrowed Robert De Niro.
They even do a Are You Looking at Me scene.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I did like about it is that the Joker, who's the hero to all the idiots of the world, is just shown to be someone who had his heart broken. He's just a little boy and he's never going to have sex ever in his life. And he's just this idiot. This is your hero. This is your god. He's nothing.
The movie itself is kind of a clown. This sad Pagliacci clown where it gets so dark that it almost becomes a sort of twisted humor. You find the urge to laugh while you're watching this.
Ryan Castrillo writes, Jojo Rabbit was my favorite. It was funny, charming, and knew how to tug at the heartstrings. Seen it.
Jawohl, seen it.
I liked Jojo Rabbit quite a bit, but I didn't love it.
I expected to be a lot more thrilled by it.
Yeah,
which is just a little unfair to the movie.
I don't think it is unfair, because there is something that just doesn't seem to land right about it, and I don't think it deserves most of its nominations. Being that they are nominated, I can kind of see their flaws now. It just rises to the surface. I don't really feel like I've said anything about Jojo Rabbit.
It's not a period piece.
It's not?
No, it's a fable. I think it's made for our time. It's not a depiction of the past. Yeah. So the few anachronisms that come on by, they don't bother me.
Good, you hate anachronisms.
I know. Anna Hef, seen it. The Irishman. I loved it so much, I don't care how long it was. Seen it.
Seen it.
You didn't like this one either.
No, I didn't.
Boy, this is not a good year for you.
This is not a good year for me at all. You know, there's things I liked. Joe Pesci was great. I loved Pacino, which I wasn't, expecting, because he's not really doing a Hoff impersonation. He's just doing Pacino.
You see a gun, you rush it. Knife, you run away.
I watched it over the course of 2 nights. You're going to Michigan tomorrow. That's when we turned off the movie. And the second night that we watched it, everything came together. The last hour of the movie is what the movie's really about.
Yeah.
So I love that, and it seemed like right there when De Niro's first told that he's going to Michigan, he realizes what his job is.
Yeah.
That's when De Niro kicks into action. Here's the best actor in the world.
I like the movie quite a bit. I, like many people, did not like the digital business.
Yeah, they took him from being 70 to 65.
And even if you could make a perfect face of a young man, you can't make him move like a young man.
No, you can't.
That scene where he's beating up the shopkeeper, he looks like Frankenstein. And he shot that from such a distance, you could have used a body double.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Why'd you have to have 76-year-old Robert De Niro? He could have broken a hip. One thing that delighted me here is that someone who played a bit part in Goodfellas came back and played a bit part in this. Her name is Welker White. I can't tell you what her name was in the other movie, but she never flies without her lucky hat. She played Mrs. Hoffa.
Gonna get this pronunciation wrong. Martin Bieri Bagbale.
Close enough.
Ford v Ferrari. It got pretty great response from most critic and fans, but I just found it terribly written with pretty annoying characters. Martin, you and me, pal, I seen it.
It's horribly written.
Yeah.
There's a scene where a guy says, rumor has it that Carroll Shelby stopped driving because he lost his nerve. That's such a stupid line.
This movie is destined to live on forever on TNT and other cable channels when they just don't feel like showing Shawshank Redemption that day. And I love Shawshank Redemption. It's a great movie. It is a guy movie, and it's a masculine movie. I'm just so annoyed by its masculinity. How are we going to solve this dispute between us? Bam! And, a brawl for 5 minutes. Like, this isn't some Clint Eastwood movie from 1975.
I was really impressed with Tracy Letts.
As Henry Ford II.
As Henry Ford II. He could do so much not saying anything and not having any expression on his face. He was so powerful.
Yeah.
He really felt like the son of one of the most important people in history.
Yeah.
Well, you should put on your boogie shoes and walk on over to our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. You can see all the episodes we've ever made, and there are also PayPal donation buttons where you can make a one-time or rolling monthly donation.
Have people done that, Matt?
People such as Frank, who says, Happy Festivus. Right back at you. And Lena from Denmark, who says, every other Friday, my boyfriend Soren and I look forward to watching Welcome to the Basement. It is always a joy. Will you please wish Soren a Merry Christmas? Yes. Soren, Merry Christmas, either very early or slightly late.
Happy Valentine's Day. That's what we should be saying right now.
For those of you who may be new to the show, welcome. You can go to our Facebook page and like it and leave comments. You can leave comments on this video. We read them all. This show puts out content every Friday, either Welcome to the Basement or Unboxing, which is an adjunct to this show where we open our mail and we thank the rest of our donors. And I also want to send a special thank you to all of our donors who continue to support us during the hiatus. We certainly appreciate it. Work does go on during that time, even if there's not a show coming out. Thank you for attacking the whack with us and watching Disco Godfather, and now you can watch this.
There's only 3 things you can do to that man to really get him uptight. And one of them is to mess with his family. Going to turn over every stone in this city until he finds a main man. When he does, all hell is going to break loose.
Sorry, Chief, were you saying something? I wasn't listening.
Where is Bucky? And what has he had?